going to get ready to get prepped for our next session, which will be our last session, and it will be around reducing incidents. So our final presenter for this track will be Stephanie Carter from the University of San Francisco. And Stephanie will share ways to reduce incidents using an IT service portal. So thank you so much for your patience while we get her set up. And as soon as she's ready to go, she will start our last presentation.
Well, I'm ready if you're ready.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It'll give everybody a chance to ask questions at the end. So
right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's jump in. Hello, everyone. My name is Steph Carter. I am with the University of San Francisco. Very fitting that Robert would go before and talk about knowledge management. Knowledge management has been a big key for us at USF and how we have reduced incidents with our portal. We've done a lot more than that, which you'll see throughout the presentation, that reducing incidents was one of the goals, but we've been able to do a lot with our portal, especially with several iterations. Yeah, I'm excited to show you. Move this over there. So as I said, I'm Steph Carter, and I am the Interim Director for Digital Engagement Technology at USF. DET is a new department, just the last few months, that has been created recently by our CIO to address items just like this, the service portal, mobile apps, live chat, all the things that we're using at USF to digitally engage and serve the USF community. Just a little housekeeping to start off. Just going to do a brief intro of our community and what we are using as far as IT service management goes, and then walk you through kind of our story of our original homepage that we were using for people to request services, and how we have iterated through a couple of different instances of our service portal. Just some key takeaways and give you a little insight on what we are going to do next. And then certainly, as before, post some questions in the chat, and thanks for helping me moderate those at the end, or just jump in at the end and let me know what's up. So USF is a private Jesuit institution. It is in the heart of the city of San Francisco, right by Golden Gate Park. So if you are ever visiting San Francisco, give a little wave to Lone Mountain. We call it the Hilltop there, and that is our main campus. We do have a couple of other branch campuses throughout the Bay Area, where we serve 13,000 plus students, faculty, and staff, undergraduate and graduate constituencies. We do use ServiceNow as our ITSM and ITBM service portal platform. We implemented back in 2008, which made us a really, really early adopter in higher education. So we have a ton of stories, some scary, some not, that we could talk about. But this one specifically is about how we moved through offering more streamlined services through the portal. Every story has a starting point, and ours starts with our services homepage. If you're familiar with ServiceNow, you know that part of the environment there internally in the back end is a homepage where you can create widgets, where you can link to other items. Dashboards have become a really popular feature as well that kind of make homepages a little obsolete. But that is where we started our services. People would link from our office webpage on the main internal site and go directly to the ServiceNow homepage and click on a link, put in some information, and send it away into the ether for ITS to respond to. It was not the prettiest or most effective, as you will see. Hold your oohs and ahs. I know it's beautiful, but this was it. This was our service catalog, quote unquote. Um, Several issues with this. This is the screenshot of right before we launched the portal, what existed right before the portal. And the beginning was just that get help upper left widget where we had a few links that created tickets for people to see. And over time, it began to expand into other items, other divisions on campus, project management. And as you can see in non-ITS services on that bottom right, development, HR, our one card and security, and even our purchasing group jumped in to use ServiceNow as a ticketing system. But this was not necessarily a great place for their audiences to jump in and request services for them either. Several of these issues, everything was an incident. It didn't matter where you clicked on this page, what you filled out, everything became an incident ticket. And because of that, all of those tickets that came in were reviewed by our help desk manually. So students and staff alike would receive a ticket, would review it for routing, try to decipher what the user was asking for, and then assign it to the correct group. If it was a request and not necessarily an incident, it still remained an incident ticket. And what happened was we would change the type of incident instead of actually changing the ticket record. So the number of incidents that we were receiving was much larger than we could handle. Not only that, but our ITS email alias would receive emails. We would go in and check every email, and a lot of those emails would get copied, pasted into a ticket format and create incidents that way. As you know, in higher ed, there is quite the ebb and flow of times when people need more assistance than others. So at peak times, that inbox would become extremely full. It may take a couple of days before we could get through all of the emails that were there. By that time, most people had sent a second email or called us, and we had created a ticket through a phone call. Unbeknownst to us, their original email was sitting in the inbox waiting for someone to review. So this was quite the holdup. It was creating way too many issues of back and forth, communicating with people what the problem actually was. Well, I emailed you. Well, we haven't gotten to that yet. Well, I'm on the phone now. Okay, well, it was quite the dilemma. And that kind of back and forth wasn't scalable for anyone, but especially folks who wanted to use ServiceNow as a ticketing system who didn't have that kind of front desk assistance, whether that was student help or staff help, didn't have that level 1 support. They were the department that they were, and they didn't have a front desk to help route and review those things. We also had very unclear notifications. This was it. Hey, your incident is open, and here's a link. And if you want to talk to us, go to the comments field. The problem here was that there was no other instruction. If you clicked on the link, it went into your back-end view of your ticket in ServiceNow. And if you have been in the back-end view of ServiceNow, it is not friendly to folks who have not seen a ServiceNow page. They didn't know how to get to the comments section. Then they start clicking around and wondering where the status of their ticket was. Was anyone actually working on it? Where do I add comments? Where do I add attachments if I need to do that? And that was really confusing. All of this to say, we needed something new. So the portal was a way from us to escape that home page and all of those issues that I just described and really go into something new. So first, what do? We need to reduce incidents, which means increased self-help. How do we get people to help themselves? And when they can't help themselves, how do we automate and make sure that we're not doing this back and forth dance trying to figure out what the problem is? All of those issues that I mentioned were really dragging down our resolve time. It was getting ridiculous. You'll see some lovely charts. And we needed to streamline and clarify a lot of our interactions and communications. All of these things are great to talk about, but if you don't have people adopt the technology, adopt using the portal in their everyday, they're still going to call you, they're still going to email you. We wanted to make sure that people adopted it. And so we wanted to introduce the portal in a way that we had not introduced technology before. We wanted it to be formal, but we wanted it to be fun. We wanted people to understand what ITS was asking them to do moving forward, and to create a new way, a new expectation of how we would introduce technology. So this was a little video that we put together to introduce Portal One to the university community.
Do you know where to get help from ITS? All representatives are currently busy. All representatives are currently busy. We'll be with you as soon as possible. That was then. This is now. The new ITS service portal connects you with what you need when you need it and simplifies your interactions with ITS. No more sending emails into the mythical inbox. No more waiting on the phone. Need something you don't already have? Make a request in 2 clicks. Need answers? The portal search engine gives you the control to solve your technology problem. We're continuously adding content, but if you still can't find what you need, create a ticket and we'll follow up swiftly. Track the status of your requests in My Stuff and know immediately if we need something from you. ITS is your technology resource, and we work for you. Anytime, anywhere, the portal is open.
We wanted to make sure that we didn't just send people to a homepage and expect them to kind of mill about. We wanted to introduce it. Along with that video came very clear instructions, knowledge-based articles, additional instructional videos that were just short and sweet, quick tips from us to show them how to navigate the portal. We had the walkthrough tutorial there at the bottom right that they could click on all the time. The first time they came into the portal, the walkthrough allowed them to click through it automatically. Once they went through it once, they could close it. And this was very simple, short and sweet. Here it is, how can we help you? And this global search allowed them to look through knowledge articles, allowed them to look through the services that we offered. What you don't see on this page is a way to just go ahead and submit a ticket. We wanted to end that. Here's a link to submit a ticket. We wanted to push them to self-help. We wanted them to start searching. We wanted them to click and find information before they actually created an incident for us. And as you can see, our reduced incident volume, right when we launched Portal One, toward the end of 2018, we had hit almost 35,000 incidents for our community of 13,000 that we're serving. And that was way too much for us to handle. Most of you, I know, are running as lean as we are in higher education, especially with a lot of the things we've been going through, whether that was 2008, 2009, whether that was COVID in 2020. And one of our initial outcomes of Portal One was we had less incidents, 2,500 less incidents year over year. At the time this specific graph was taken, we were on track to do even less than that, which you'll see a little bit later. But this was our main goal. How do we drive people to not create incidents? And it wasn't just that they were creating less. We knew they were creating less because they were calling us less. Almost 5,000 less emails, 5,000 less calls If you're not answering email, you're not answering calls, you can actually be working on someone's problem. Excuse the dog. 20,000 more article views. Robert is setting up this great program at USC for knowledge management. That was a big key for us. People looking at the knowledge articles and not giving us a call, not sending us an email, not creating a ticket. Those went way up almost overnight because when they would search in that search bar, the information would drop down for them and they could see, oh, here's my answer. It was a great way to increase self-help for them. And then the copy paste emails that I talked about, driving automation. Instead of copying and pasting those, what we did was we set up an automatic job. Every email generated a ticket. And then once that ticket was generated, that's when we could assign automatically. Most of that went still to the help desk, but we used some keywords to look for others. Certainly there were mistakes in the beginning, but rerouting something was much easier than having to go into an email inbox and copy something and paste it and then guess at who it should be for. That really freed up a lot of our folks' time at the help desk to be working on tickets. One of the results of that, being able to have the time to work on things, was when we launched the portal, we were at a 9-day average. So average of all of our tickets, closing them, that was our resolve time. And then a year out, we had reduced that by 3 days. Still not where we want to be, but that was a big deal. If you can solve someone's issue in 3 less business days, that is really, really helpful. This is one of our improved email notifications. Not only does it look a lot better, not just plain, but every single link here directs people back to the portal. It doesn't send them to backend ServiceNow. It links directly to where they need to go. Their My Stuff ticket page is now a place where they can easily see the status of their ticket. They know exactly where to put in additional information, how to add attachments if they need to. And then when ITS is responding to them, they can clearly see, oh, this is who is responding to me. Here's a Katie article. Ah, I see what I did. I missed this step. It was a very clear interaction. I've submitted a ticket. I get an auto notification that says it's been created. When I click on that, it takes me to this page where I can see my interactions with ITS, and it really streamlined this. Being able to communicate this clearly was also a factor in reducing that time. In everything, there is a time to improve. This is one of the takeaways I'll talk about later, but we needed to move into a second iteration. And we needed to move into something that was a little more robust and was much friendlier. So Portal 2 goals, we wanted to open up knowledge to guests. So if you were in the previous session, Robert talked a little bit about a public knowledge base, an internal knowledge base. We have a handful of knowledge bases. One of them is a public knowledge base in a sense that people who have not yet authenticated into, so like logged in with their USF credentials, can still view knowledge articles and get information that they need. One use case for this was we use Duo, for example, for 2-factor authentication. If you're having trouble with Duo, you need to read the article to see how to connect a new device, for example. But then you got in this circle of, well, I can't log in because I'm having trouble with Duo, so I can't read the article that helps me figure out my problem with Duo. This is an issue. So it wasn't just visitors on campus or people looking for information. It was also people who were having trouble authenticating, still needing to be able to look at basic public information. And if they still couldn't do that, they could still call or email the help desk. We wanted to redesign service offerings. So In the beginning, I talked about everything was an incident. We wanted to change that. And we also wanted to offer new pathways for connecting with the help desk. And we wanted to eliminate our ITS web pages completely. What was happening was we'd update information on the portal, or we would update or create a new knowledge article, and there would be duplicate information on our web page that we'd then have to go update. We wanted to eliminate all of that dual data entry, dual data creation. This is what the portal looks like now. So this is what we refer to as Portal 2.0. As you can see, it's a little more robust. We are offering more things here. And because we were eliminating ITS web pages, we added things like My Apps, where people can access all of their applications on campus. So think Workday, Salesforce, Zoom, you name it. If it is a application that ITS supports, you can access those applications here. You can add a favorites page for those. So you're not having to bookmark every single application. You're just bookmarking the portal, and here's how you can get to everything that you need. This is basically just how we, at some point as a guest goes through, they're either looking for information that is a restricted knowledge article that they have to log in to view it, or they want to submit a ticket with ITS. Then they would log in with their USF credentials, and if not, they can just continue as a guest and get as much public information from the site as possible. One of our use cases here also is like our strategic enrollment management crew. So we have lots of visitors on campus. How do I check my application status if you're an applicant to the university? How do I find the welcome center? Things like that. They can get from this as well without having to log in because they're visitors to our campus. We redesigned kind of the way that we offer things and put everything in neat little literal boxes, but more than that, we separated out our ticket types. So an incident was an incident. Something is broken, please fix it. A request was a request. Hey, I need some support here, or I have a question. An enhancement was an enhancement. I need this application to do something different that it doesn't do already, or I need to add an integration. We went through and made sure that all of our services clearly aligned to this to really follow the way that we wanted things to flow, not only through our system, but through our internal workflows. This is broken, we have an SLA behind it. This is a request, we can take some more time, but we want to make sure that we get it right. We also added live chat. So in addition to streamlining everything, we wanted to have people be able to interact with a live help desk agent. So we've been able to kind of deflect incidents. I wish that I had more data on how many we've been able to deflect, but I don't have that yet. I do know that 10% of our interactions with folks are through live chat versus emails, phone calls, or walking up to the front desk. 10% are now live chat. A lot of that has to do with being a remote campus throughout 2020. People being able to still talk to people as if they're at the help desk, even though they're working remotely. The reduced incident volume has continued. So at Portal 1.0, you can see we're almost at 35,000 incidents, which dropped almost 3,000. And then the next year, when we added Portal 2.0 and live chat, we're down 7,500 incidents from 2 years ago, which has been great. As you can see, as of when I took this little screenshot of our chart, we've got about 7,000 incidents this year. We're almost halfway through the year. I'll be interested to see where we are June 1 to see how much more of a reduction we get this year. The improved resolve time continues as well. Fewer incidents means I'm able to work on the incidents that are there. I'm able to move through them more quickly. when we were at that 6-day average. And then as of yesterday, we're down to 5-day average. We're trying to find ways to speed this up and get to a lower average. Our P1 and P2 incidents are down at a 1-day average. This is kind of the overall average. So we're still wanting to get that down. We'd like to get down to a 3-day, and we're exploring all the ways that we can move that velocity. Eliminating these web pages. Some of our incidents were due to misinformation, and this was the big culprit, this out-of-date information. So all of this information here that you see, if it was a web page that contained information about services, we have moved that into a KB article. And instead of maintaining all of these pages and the menu items on the left, we maintain it through the portal. This is what our ITS homepage looks like now. Go to the portal. If you have a question, go to the portal. If you need something, go to the portal. We love you, but go to the portal. And that has been a big help for us, because we don't have incidents saying, well, the website said this. Okay, well, that's out of date information. Apologies. Here's the correct knowledge article for you to view. And some takeaways for us. It's never done. And we know that in IT and in higher ed, so many things are cyclical. We just continue to improve. So we take Portal 1, what were the really great outcomes of that? And how do we enhance that for Portal 2? Continue doing it, don't stop. Collaborate, get more perspectives. One of our pitfalls with Portal 1, while it had great outcomes, was designing it in a silo. It was just IT. It was IT and our implementation partner, and that was it. And we learned a lot of lessons with that, especially from faculty on what they needed from ITS, which informed some of the design. Some of the UI of Portal 2 was due to actually doing the focus groups that we did not do with Portal 1. So always collaborate. More perspectives is always going to be better. Obviously, you're not going to be able to solve a problem for everyone or meet every single person's need, but the more perspectives you have in the room are always going to make the outcome better. I know that most of you know that already. And expand. Do it gradually, do it often. Take it in the chunks that you can take it in. Identify those first keys. Like one of our first keys was just like, man, we have to resolve these things faster. What are ways we can resolve these things faster? Well, reduce the number of incidents that we have. Help people help themselves. How do we do that? And those were the chunks we bit off in the beginning. Then we, added live chat, another chunk. Eliminating web pages, another chunk. Find out a way you can do this gradually, but do it often. If you are a university that runs in sprints, find out ways to run it in sprints. And if you're not, find out ways to roadmap it and figure out the resources that you need to figure it out. As always, in the iteration, there's what's next. So for us, now that my team has moved over into the new digital engagement technology team, we are looking to implement all kinds of things on our roadmap. But first will be virtual agent. And this is something we've been looking into for a while. It will actually do away with our live chat that we have implemented, but it will incorporate virtual agent knowledge management and workflows, not only for ITS, but also for our other folks that are using ServiceNow. So enrollment management is another big partner for us for that, and our human resources crew as well. We are wanting to deliver mobile for our field agents, especially those who are away from their laptop, away from their desktop, wherever it is. They can go ahead and log information, close tickets, open tickets, wherever they are on campus, wherever they are remotely. They can respond to those things quickly. Slack is a platform that we are going to launch soon this summer for collaboration. And we are looking into all the ways that ServiceNow and Slack can work together to further improve resolve time. And then the app engine, where we start into scoped apps, portal pages for other divisions on campus, and really bringing in the way that folks are using ServiceNow to deliver services, and how can we really make that experience for them much better than it is already. So these are some of the things that are next for us. We really think that with the portal, with adding these other digital engagement items, we'll be able to drive down incidents even further, drive up self-help even more. These are things we're pretty excited about. So would love to hear your questions. There is my email and LinkedIn information if you'd like to connect that way. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Steph. That was a very informative session. We do have quite a few questions, and we have a few minutes to work through those. So the first question is, did you get pushback from people who just wanted you to deal with it rather than look it up? And yes, I'm thinking of certain groups, quote unquote, on campus.
Absolutely. I think that I know exactly who you're talking about. And we did. I think that that's why we had to find the people who wanted to run with it. Certainly you can talk adoption and talk about, hey, let's do it this way all you want. And some people are still going to email you, and some people are still going to call you. That's going to happen. But we found some champions for us. I think Robert talked about that with knowledge champions as well, who were willing to move forward. We also made sure that everyone at our help desk understood exactly the message we were trying to convey, so that when they were on a call, when they were responding to an email, perhaps, when there was someone standing at the front desk with them, they could spin that screen around, or they could show them, hey, here's where you go to check. I'm going to submit this ticket for you, right? Here's where you go. You're going to get this email. It's going to send you to this page that we're looking at, where you can check the status of this. If you need to say something else that you forgot while you're standing here with us, please add it to this information. It automatically goes into your ticket. If you need anything else from us, here's where you can go to do that. And that was really helpful in kind of a, teach them to fish sort of way. But like I said, you're never going to be able to solve it for everyone. So I think the folks that are going to adopt it are going to do it. And the folks that aren't, like, it's okay. That's why we still have email and phone, right? Where we're going, we don't need email anymore. That's what I want to tell everyone. But yes, that's still going to happen. But I think go with the 80-20 rule. Let's get as many folks on the portal train as possible. And I think a lot of people are willing to do that if we give them a chance. So.
Okay. And that was a good segue. Speaking about emails, how often do you send email notifications to users?
Well, they get from the portal when they submit a ticket, they get a automatic notification that says their ticket has been created. Also, when they email the help desk, because of that auto generation, they get an immediate response that says your ticket has been created, which links them to the portal. Anytime their ticket has been updated, so if a help desk agent has written comments that we want to be emailed to that user, they get a notification that something has been updated. When they click on it, it takes them directly to the portal, to that My Stuff page where their ticket is, so that they can see that information. And then we send them a notification when their ticket has been resolved. If they, for some reason, don't believe that their ticket has been resolved, that last resolve notification allows them to reopen the ticket should they choose to. That has never been a huge number of our incidents, but we do say to them, like, if this hasn't been resolved to your satisfaction, you know, click here to reopen this ticket, and they can do it that way. But those are the notifications. So created comments that have been added, and resolution.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
The next question is around live chat. So for your live chat, how many people do you have, and do the same people who answer the phone support the live chat?
Yes, same people that are answering the phone or emails are supporting the live chat as well. That is mainly our help desk agents. So we have about 5 full-time staff that are help desk, like level 1 help desk, and then we have about 25 students that are help desk as well. So you've got about 30 people. Obviously, they are not working all at the same time. What we do is that I wish I had my help desk crew here with me to answer that question. Send me an email. I can connect you with our help desk for more specific information on that. But they are responding to all of those things. The live chat, I've actually gotten a lot of feedback from them that has been helpful. They're able to get to what the actual question is really, really quickly, instead of deciphering, you know, the email's been created and now they're deciphering this information in the ticket, what's really going on. The live chat is helping them get to the point really, really quickly, and that has been helpful. And as you can see in our resolve time, they've still been able to drive down the resolve time, even though they're also addressing live chats as well. So whoever had that question, shoot me an email and I'll connect you with our help desk for more.
Okay. The next question we have is around the reduction of numbers that you've had. So the question is, when will you find out how much of those numbers are attributed to people being more self-serving during COVID?
Yeah. Right when we closed campus, so March 2020, our incidents went way up. So I thought, oh, this is gonna throw off all of the numbers, because the incidents went way up. People were trying to connect remotely. They were trying to get on VPN. They were trying to get their equipment to whatever remote location they were going to. Lots of office moves, like just tons of things came in immediately, as I know most of you probably had all of these things happening as we went to a remote campus. But gradually that subsided. And I don't know if it had to do with everyone getting comfortable and settled wherever they were remotely, everyone getting used to like remote work. I'm not sure, but certainly at that, I think it was from March, it was about the 15th, like mid-March, and that like next 3 or 4 months was a crazy spike in volume of incidents. I'd have to pull up our PA to show you the exact spike, but it was big, but it is settled much more now. I anticipate, as we bring students and staff and faculty back on campus in the fall, as we intend, that those may go up again. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, the next question we have is, do you have a problem management process that helps reduce incidents by addressing them at the root?
Absolutely. Incident, problem, and change. That is our cadence. An incident comes in, and if you were here for story time with Chaz, you got to hear some of that. Why would I create this problem? Well, I'm creating this problem ticket because I have these several incidents that keep coming up. This is no longer broken. There is something huge underlying this, right? The foundation, something wrong with the foundation. So we run those cycles. We run incidents that have not been resolved through problems, and we run problems through changes, or they become known errors that we have documentation on, so that if we run into that and we're pending some ServiceNow change, or we're pending some other infrastructure change, we can say when those incidents come up, oh, there was a problem already created. Here's the known error. We can direct the people to the information, give them at least some sort of timeline for resolution, or a, hey, we're not sure when this is going to be resolved. We will let you know as soon as it is. But yeah, incident, problem, and change is our workflow for that.
Okay. So the next two questions are really around your ServiceNow team. The first question is, do you have a product team for ServiceNow separate from the IT service team? And if so, how many folks and in what roles? And then the next question, does your portal require a lot of customizations, and how do you manage them, especially against the upcoming ServiceNow releases, et cetera? Do you have a team of dedicated ServiceNow developers?
Got it. We do have, so the digital engagement technology department was just created in January of this year. And my ServiceNow support team, I was previously the ServiceNow product owner. My team came with me, and we are currently the group that is digital engagement technology, as we figure out which resources, what applications are going to come under this digital engagement umbrella, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my ServiceNow support team is me, so former product owner. I have a ServiceNow product analyst who is full-time with me as well. My right-hand person who I want to clone. I have a contracted ServiceNow developer, with a services partner that we have engaged with for the last 8 years. We have gotten development services from them. That developer is developer, administrator, all things ServiceNow for us. And then I have 2 contracted technical writers. So they are in charge of our knowledge management program. They are the ones that are making sure that our knowledge is all up to date. And that is and we have 1 student assistant as well. So that is what was the ServiceNow support team, and now the initial crew for digital engagement technology. That's the team. As far as the portal and development goes, it is the out-of-box portal that has our branding on it, that has our kind of the way we wanted the widgets to be, the way we wanted the pages to look. So customizations are in that, really, the UI of it. But other than that, it is an out-of-the-box portal. We did use an implementation partner for both iterations, simply because we didn't want to overwhelm our single developer.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted him to be able to still be working on regular enhancements and administration. And so we contracted out those hours. First portal was 12 weeks. Second portal was 6 weeks of work. But other than that, our in-house developer takes care of most of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Steph, for taking the time to answer the questions in our Q&A. We are actually at time. Steph did leave her email information, and you'll also have that information available to you from the page that we talked about with our events. So I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we close. Recordings will be made available within 5 business days, and they will be posted online. You will be able to access them from the event page. And I believe also there will be information there for the actual PowerPoint presentations. You will also receive a survey, which I highly encourage you to take. Your responses will help us and our partners plan future events like this one. So stay tuned for more ITSM events coming out soon. And we want to thank you and have a great day. Thank you.